Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, guys? Note Investor here. Quick update on the market. What a couple of days it's been, huh? We had the flash crash, mini crash, the great altcoin apocalypse. If you were not aware, if you were out camping or something, you don't care, right? That was great, but let's take a quick look at the markets, and then I'm going to go over the charts. We did a in-depth analysis a couple of days ago on how low could Bitcoin go, and so this is a follow-up to that. And let's recap and just quick thoughts on where I think we could go from here. Let's look at the market here. Bitcoin 2261, kind of edging back up there. Ethereum remains strong, $186 - 110. Litecoin $25, Monero $42. Ripple has had quite the move, down and back up, but we'll look at that. 23 cents right now. Ethereum Classic at $16. Pivx $1.70. Pivx has been very volatile. Zcash basically at around $200. Factum $12. NAM 20 cents. And Stellar Lumens coming in at $3 or 3.6 cents. So let's take a look at the cryptocurrency market cap first. We currently stand at $76 billion. We had quite the volatility. We went from 90 billion on Thursday straight down to just under 60 billion by Saturday. And there was the crash. We're back up to 76 billion. So we've already recovered basically 16 plus billion of that. So guys, if you're new to cryptocurrency, if you're new to Bitcoin, this is how it is. It is volatile. It's shaky. The way I like to put it, think about it this way, guys. You know that feeling when you're on a plane, you're relaxed, the flight's been going for about an hour, maybe you're watching a movie, enjoying some food and a drink, and then, boom, the big turbulence down, the whole plane gets quiet, people start to freak out. That's what we just felt. That big turbulence, the big shock down. Fasten your seatbelt, folks. It's about to get bumpy. So that's how it goes here. Cryptocurrency is volatile by nature. If you like stability and steady eddy movements, this is probably not for you. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. So here's the chart of Bitcoin. It's a little updated now with the most recent couple of days. But when we looked at the top a couple of days ago, let me zoom in here. Bitcoin essentially was at around this $21, $2200 mark. And a couple of points we pointed out here, I said it could come down to the moving average, which effectively it did. So if we could hit a couple of these key Fibonacci retracement zones, 50% would have put you at 1800, and the 61.8 would have put you down to 1600. The trend line would have put you down at around 1800. Now, it came down much faster than I would have thought, but that's basically usually how it goes. It's a sharp move down. And so far, the low has been right around 1850, 1900, depending on the exchange. But look at where it also coincides. Remember I mentioned that congestion that previously was a consolidation, created resistance, and then when it breaks above it, it becomes support. Look at where we hit. We hit right above that zone. So that's positive. Is it the low, the final low? Time will tell. So the way these things typically move is there's this sharp move down, then there's the bounce, and from here we can have another sharp leg down, which will undercut this low. If that happens, then we've got a couple of more rounds to the downside, is my opinion. If that doesn't happen, we test it, but we end up a little bit higher than before, that's probably going to mean we're going to consolidate at this point. Go sideways, go up, who knows. But best case scenario would be we're just crazy strong and we just go straight up from here and break these old closing points here around 2500 or so, and then start heading up. That would be best case scenario. We'll see if Bitcoin's that strong. I have mixed feelings because there's a couple of things that said obviously Bitcoin had a sharp move up. A lot of these other altcoins did, which we'll look at. And it's due for a correction. But another part of me says, there was a line out the door of people waiting to get in Bitcoin. You guys saw the news on Coinbase. People were trying to get into Coinbase. People were trying to get into the other exchanges. So this move up in Bitcoin really brought a lot of attention to this space. I think a lot of people are still trying to get in. They saw they missed the boat and they're seeing this little bit of a pullback and they want in now. So I think we've got a little bit more on the upside because of that. If it's truly done for now, what'll happen is Bitcoin and some of these other leading cryptocurrencies will go into a little period of rest consolidation. Are we going to see the big collapse like we've seen in the past, where it went from $1,000 all the way down to 200 and you lost 80% before it finally bottomed? Honestly, I doubt it. Anything can happen, but I don't think we're going to see that kind of move to the downside, at least not yet, or not from this level. How far we could go below before we finally bottom out, if this current low gets taken out, 1600 or so is very, very easy to see. 1700 would be the next level. Maybe this trend line. I mean, a full retracement would basically take you back down to the early breakout down here, 900 or so. I really doubt we'll see 900 Bitcoin, guys, but if we do, that's your last chance to get in, I guarantee you, at least at those levels. So that's where I think we're going. We'll see. The next couple of days are going to really matter. So the first move down is complete. We had the big sharp pullback. You're going to see that in the other charts. Now we're bouncing. Where we go from here is going to say a lot. If we just sit tight and build a new base, that would be awesome. But these markets don't like to do that. They're very volatile. They're going to either go straight up, straight down, shake people around. So we'll see. We could probably see some resistance here on this bar. So I would say around 2400 is where you're going to start to see some selling. And then if that happens, you'll see another leg down. Again, the key area to watch is this $1,800, $1,900 area. Let's take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum's looking really strong here. Now, I know it had the shakeout, but everything did. Everything basically collapsed in one day and then bounced right back. It was pretty incredible to watch. I hope you guys didn't freak out and sell. But if you did, hey, it's up to you what you guys want to do at this point. So here's what happened on Ethereum. We had the big run up to the 200-ish. Then the big sell-off commenced. And look at what happened to Ethereum. We had the huge sell-off. Ethereum at one point was down to $115. Very briefly, in the middle of the night somewhere. But somebody bought Ethereum for $115. So if that was you, awesome. But it wasn't me, unfortunately. So 115, but look at where it hit. See that moving average? Almost to the penny. It's incredible how that happens. So $115 was that ultimate low, bounced it right back. Major support showed up on Ethereum. Pretty decent volume, so that's a good sign. It's back above the shorter term moving averages now. So I'm going to say Ethereum's going to probably hold this 160 area in the near term. If it makes another lower top here and then we break down again, then all bets are off on this. But Ethereum's looking pretty strong here. It's probably too early to say go buy it. If you took a shot at it down here on the panic sell, then that's awesome. If you're sitting on the sidelines waiting to see what to do, you may just want to wait a little bit, because at this point, confirmation would be breaking above the all-time highs. That's not really that far above where we're at. That's going to be, what, 12% or so? Yeah, so I mean, closing high is about 7%. The ultimate high is just over 20%. So you're probably just better off waiting to see what happens at this point. If you want to start taking a small position here, what I would recommend is just keep an eye on these recent closing lows around 150, 160. If it breaks below that, we're going to just probably go sideways, test it out again. I mean, look at what happened over here at this last consolidation. So just keep this in mind, guys. We had the big run up, and then we pulled down, and there was the big shakedown to $75, popped it back up, and then there was another sell-off to $80. They popped it back up, and then there was one final pop down to 82, moved it back up, and then we had the big pop. So this is most likely what's going to happen. There's anything can happen. I don't expect us to just start charging ahead, but this is a positive sign right here. We're seeing it close above these moving averages, seeing this longer term one hold. That's pretty good to see. Volume's a little light on the upside, so that's not so positive on that end. Let's look at Dash. Now Dash had the nice breakout, and then it just cracked under this weight of the sell-off, bouncing back up here. For now, I'm going to say that's a failed breakout on Dash. That's not a very bullish sign to see. I mean, they brought this thing back all the way down to $72 before they popped this back up. So that was incredible. So I would hold off on Dash for now. Let's see what happens here in these low. Because this, remember what I said on the breakout, this 104-ish area is the critical part. We went way below that and bounced up, and it's a little struggling right here. So I would keep an eye on Dash. I think longer term Dash is good, but for now, anything can happen. It had a big move up, so just keep an eye on it. Probably nothing to do at this point. Let's look at Litecoin. So Litecoin, I'm going to show you another chart. So Litecoin, before the big panic sell-off, was looking very nice. It was looking strong. It had a big move up. It was basically about ready to go, close above this $35 mark and head out. And then the big sell-off happened, and now it's struggling to get back above this this longer-term moving average. So right now, Litecoin is not looking very strong. What I want to see for Litecoin to recover from this is to pop right above. It better get above the $29, $30 range here pretty quickly and then hold it. That'll be this longer term moving average or trend line, if you will. It's okay to break below the trend lines, but it's not good to sit below it for too long like it's doing right here. So this big sell-off was, you know, the big sell-off. Look how low they took it down. $15. That's basically the old breakouts consolidation. So that may be the low for Litecoin for now, but it may just bounce around this low 20, mid 20 zone for now because it's not looking very strong here. So unless you see Litecoin start popping up, then that was probably the big washout sell. But for now, the setup's not looking very nice. Let me jump ahead to Ripple. So guys, remember Ripple? Ripple was going crazy. Every video out there was on Ripple, and I mentioned don't buy Ripple at 43 cents. That's just a little too overdone for now. Need some pullback. If you bought Ripple at 43 cents, it must have been painful to watch Ripple go down to 12 cents. That was brutal. It was a panic selling, so I hope you didn't cash out at that very low point. But now Ripple is right around 19, 20 cents, a little higher here, sitting above this consolidation, which is good to see, right above the moving averages, which is good to see. But unless Ripple breaks this little downtrend here, not looking good for now. Ripple long term again is probably fine, but we're going to need to see this little downtrend broken. So remember when we talked about it last time, it was right here. It looked like Ripple wanted to go, but unless it breaks this, not going to happen. It's still not breaking it. Jumping ahead to Stellar Lumens, they move in tandem, guys. So pretty much did the same thing. Ripple couldn't break above it. Stellar Lumens had the big breakdown. Sitting at around 3.5 cents right now. Holding that moving average was a pretty good sign, but again, Stellar and Ripple are going to move in tandem, so you want to see some strength in both of those. Let's look at a couple of more before we wrap it up. NEM. So NEM had the big breakdown too, but NEM, that was some solid support on the panic day for NEM. I was really pleased to see that because I am in NEM and I am holding NEM, and I did not sell, and I saw the NEM going all the way down going, wow, maybe I should just buy a little bit more here. But it popped back up. NEM's looking pretty good, but we'll see. I mean, there's a ton of resistance on NEM right around this 12,000 Satoshi mark, which equates to, at this time, around 26, 25 cents on the dollar. So keep an eye on NEM. NEM's probably just setting up for more of a longer term move here, but a lot of support on NEM right now. Zcash. Some of you guys were asking me about Zcash. So as you know, Zcash had the big move, and it started to move down here. Sitting right around 190 right now. Had the big sell-off. Look how low it went, down to 122. Bounced it back up. Sitting above the shorter two moving average, which is really nice. So what I want to see on Zcash is there's a little bit of a downtrend forming here. It looks like it's about to break that. You know, there's this other one down here. The shorter moving averages are looking pretty good there. So Zcash, not bad here. Actually, Zcash is not bad. But like I said, there's a ton of sellers that showed up around this area. If you want to take a little shot at it here, keep a close eye on these guys. Everything's volatile. Closing below this 170, 160 area is not going to be good for Zcash. Kind of at a critical juncture here. Hopefully it just bounces around a little bit more, but Zcash, keep an eye on it, putting a little bit of flag pattern here right now. Some strength I'm seeing. So Golem, this is a Golem on the Bitcoin chart, but look at this. I mean, we had the panic sell a couple days ago and then hit this longer term trend that I drew a couple, 2 weeks ago maybe. Hit the moving averages, bounced it right back, and look at how strong it is. Look at the volume that came in on Golem. So keep an eye on Golem, guys. Now this is versus the Bitcoin chart, so if Bitcoin goes down, Golem's going to go up on this chart, but Golem's really strong here. I'm liking the longer term trend that it's putting in. So I would look at Golem here. Another one is Stratis. So Stratis has been forming a nice chart. Look at that. Stratis on the upside. This is again against the Bitcoin chart, but Stratis just super strong. During the sell-off, I noticed, so that's the thing about the sell-offs that I just really like. Now, I know they're scary, they're painful, that feeling of turbulence, your gut comes up. I get it. I'm with you guys on that, but the thing that I like about these sell-ups is, one, they set up these nice bases. They kind of reset everything. They freak people out enough to be a little more cautious, which is perfect. But they also show you where the strength is. When everything is going by the wayside and everything is collapsing around you, keep an eye on what's holding up the best. Everything's dropping 20, 30, 40%. What's only down 10%, right? That's what we call relative strength, and you want to watch that. Same thing on the upside. When nothing is moving up and everything's just kind of moving, or everything was moving up for a while and then there's a few of those that were just lagging, those got trashed the other day. So just keep an eye on that. That's relative strength. It works on the upside and the downside, but right now Stratis is showing some great relative strength. So I'm not saying buy these right now, but these are super strong compared to everything else. One more thing I want to show you guys. We did a cryptocurrency market cap contest. Let me show you a little chart I put together. So here is a chart of the cryptocurrencies for, I know this is a little tough to see here, but everything right now is worth about $76 billion. Bitcoin is 36 of that. Ethereum is 17 of that. Ripple is basically 9 billion of that. And then you get all the other ones, right? NEM 1.8, Ethereum Classic 1.5, Litecoin 1.2, and you go all the way down the list to about number 12, which is Zcash at 279 million. So through Zcash, that equates to about $70 billion of the 76 billion market cap. Numbers 13 through 700, whatever, is everybody else. And that's 5 billion of the market cap. And so I still think we're going to hit 100 billion. And if we are, it's going to be driven by these bigger guys here. It's not going to be driven by some of these other tiny ones. Now, you know, Stratis and Golem, they could decide to double from here, right? But that's going to take you from what, 400, you know, 400 million up to 600, right? So it'll help, no doubt, but it's not going to be the needle mover that Bitcoin and Ethereum and these others will do. So just keep an eye on that. People are asking me, where should I buy if I had to buy here? The answer is pretty clear on that. If you had to buy anything here at this point, I would say pick one of the big ones, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, those are the kind of no doubt there on the long term. Short term, anything could happen. These could all come down further. Absolutely. If I had to pick just one, that's tough. I'm going to probably say Ethereum if I had to pick just one. That's more of my longer term view on where all this is going. I own Bitcoin, so I'm not against Bitcoin, but that's where I'm looking at. Now, if you want some of these other altcoins, what else is looking strong? I already pointed out a couple here. Longer term, I really like NEM. I think NEM is going to take a bigger portion of this pie in the longer term. So right now it's at 1.8 billion of the 76. I think we're going to go higher on NEM. When that happens, you know, I'm looking at more of a longer term view for NEM right now. There's certainly nothing in the charts right now that it's saying it's setting out for a breakout, but that's one I'm looking at. And these other ones, well, time will tell. I really think this top 10, top 12 lists, half of these names probably won't be there when we get to 100 billion. So things will cycle around. That's just the nature of this. But NEM, Bitcoin, Ethereum, possibly Ripple, You know, I'm still keeping an eye on Ripple just because of the supply issue there, but those are probably the top 2 or 3 that longer term, keeping an eye on those. That's going to be it for now, guys. I'll keep you guys posted as the market progresses. Keep an eye on things this week. Watch those support and resistance zones. And until next time, take care.